Welcome to the Coach's Decision. Disclaimer. The views, language, and candor expressed on this series are designed to provoke thought and conversation amongst adults. Some opinions and perspectives may be unsuitable for those who are emotionally weak. Viewer discretion is advised.
I wanted to do this and get y'all impression of something that was provided to me by one of my female clients that represents how women see a woman. I'm not going to do that. That represents how a woman sees dating. And so I'm going to pull it up and we're going to go through it and then we're just going to dissect it a little bit because I think it's important that we not only represent our point of view, but things that we're exposed to as men from a female point of view.
Okay,
Hold on.
I'm down.
Hold on.
I'm happily single, 45, and I am dating. And I joined Hinge by the encouragement of my coach last week. So I've only been on a week. And I definitely got the paid subscription because I know that there's a different experience that you get when it's paid and then when it's free. And so I met a guy Friday night. We were texting and all the things inside the app. And I just happened to tell him that the Clips was going to be in concert here in Cleveland and where it was going to be at. He was like, you want to go? And I'm like, sure. He immediately bought the tickets, let me know he got them and that we would meet for the concert the next day. And I said, well, I would love to FaceTime before we meet just so we can see each other's faces and all the things. He said he would FaceTime me at 6. He FaceTimed me at 6, talked for a little bit, got ready for the concert, drove down there. And so where I was going to the concert, the side street that I went on, the parking lot line was long. So I called him and I said, hey, this line is long, but I'll be on my way inside. He was like, come around to this street. There's no line at all. I pull up only to realize that I needed cash to get inside the parking lot. And lesson learned, always carry cash on you. So then I called him back and I'm like, I got to go back to that other lot. I don't have no cash on me. He was like, it's cool. I'm in a lot. I'll take care of it. Paid for the parking, got out, greeted him. Then we go in and he then, showed the tickets and all the things. And so we were going inside the area and we showed the usher our tickets. Oh, and we got cocktails before we went in there, right? Got to get your cocktails. And so the usher was like, oh, y'all got good seats. And so we went to the mezzanine and we were like 4 rows back from the stage. So we're like looking right over the stage. Amazing seats. It was so much fun just singing or rapping and dancing all night long. And it was just such a great experience. He walked me back to my car, perfect gentleman, all the things, and made sure that I made it home safely. And when I tell you, I am looking forward to going on a date, and I've just felt like I was treated exactly the way that I want to be treated. So my approach on dating is probably very different from most. I am going into it like I'm going to learn something from the person I'm dating. I am going to teach you something, and we're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. And that's what dating is supposed to be about. All this other mess I can care less about. So when people say things about dating, it's never my experience. I always have great experiences. I would love to know from y'all, how is your dating experiences? How is it going? I'm having a good ass time.
Let's unpack that. It started with her saying she was happily single. She was 45. She had a life coach that encouraged her to go on a site called Hinge and start dating. Okay, so she go on this site called Hinge and start dating. It's on a Friday. Now, the first thing she said was she happened to mention that the Clips was coming into town. And he said, oh, would you like to go? And so he bought tickets. Any comment there?
Day. It was like the next day.
Next day. Yeah, day of. Yep.
Okay.
Comments, anybody?
I don't
Would
think
you
there's
have done the
nothing wrong
same?
with that. I mean, if they both,
Okay.
if he likes it, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that because, I mean, he's taking somebody he's, after trying to get, and he likes the Clips. So, I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that's a simp or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong either. I think it's kind of hard pulling teeth sometimes. Sometimes women want you to guess which restaurant they like or which artist they like and all that. She came out with something that somebody who's coming into town, and he must have had it because he didn't ask her for no money or nothing. He just took initiative. It was like, he probably liked them too. They had it in common. He obviously thought she was 8 to 10.
Right. He hadn't seen her. He hadn't seen her. That's why. Maybe on the app. Okay, on the app.
He saw her on the app. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But that's filtered and all that. So check mark for her for expressing her desires. Check mark for him for listening and taking the initiative to buy the tickets. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So then the next big thing that she said was she wanted to FaceTime him so they could see what each other look like. So I don't know if only the women can post stuff on the app, bro, but you just told me everybody can see everybody. So I don't know what the FaceTime was to see what they look like. Like, do you need animation or motion to know what a mug look like?
Yeah, you do. You need it.
Okay, cool. I didn't know.
I think it's very necessary because you have yeah.
Go ahead, Owen,
You have this thing. No, you could. You have these things called angles.
Okay.
Or you have older pictures 15 years ago.
That's where I was going. Older pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's necessary to do that, to not be mad when you get there.
Okay. So positive for her. She got another check.
Did you have something else to add?
Yeah. Did you have something to add to that?
I had
seeing the
something
FaceTime.
to add the thing that I had was there was no expectations from either one of them. Even though he took her out, did this and that, spent some money on her, there was no expectations.
Wait, we gonna go through it. We gonna go through it. But just on this part, her having him FaceTime her so they could be good, and she telling him to FaceTime her at 6. That makes sense to you. We good with that, right?
I think he should have asked for that before he bought the tickets. But yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with that too. And then why is it a specific time with that? Why is she asking for a specific time?
She was open at 6. She was open at 6, so they FaceTime at 6, but she said he was on time. So check mark for him. Right?
Okay.
This is her story. I think he asked for it before the tickets.
Wow. Okay, fine. That's no problem. Okay. So then the one thing that he did do that I'm a big proponent of, I'm big on Dutch, in the beginning, but he had her meet him there. So therefore she didn't feel like, a lot of women say they want to be picked up and all that. Early on, when you don't know somebody, don't let them know where you live. Don't need to know where they live. Meet them there. And so she said he had her meet her there, had her meet him there. And I thought that was a check mark for him, right?
Yes, I agree.
And so that was cool. And she said, okay, cool. Well, then he took
I think that he was on time too.
Yes, I was good with that.
Yeah.
But he took the charge and the initiative to buy the tickets as well. And I thought that was really nice in that regard. But then she showed up and didn't bring cash. Okay? I'm sorry. First, she showed up and was in line. She showed up in line and was in line and she updated him. So I'm going to give her a check for updating him to the situation because it was supposed to start at a certain time. She was supposed to be at a certain time. She got in a line that was long and called him and let him know, hey, I'm in this line. It's long as hell. I'm just letting you know. And he was like, hey, come around this other way. So that was great communication to where he not waiting, wondering. He led her to come around the other way. She took the lead. She accepted his counsel and came around the other way. So I'm giving him a check for that. Now, when she gets around there, she realized that she done left the house with dirty drawers on and no cash. Because all women tell me that they've been taught and raised to always have on clean drawers and your own money. so I don't know. I don't know what happened.
You from B-Town?
I have no choice but to assume her drawers was dirty. Right. Absolutely. But then she did correct herself and say that, hey, word to the wise, don't leave home without cash. But he immediately, when she called him, said, don't worry about it, took care of it. So he was like, cool, I got it. You come in this lot, I'm going to take care of that. Is all this good for y'all so far? This is really turning out to be a good situation at this point, right?
I don't agree with her not bringing the cash. I don't agree with that. Like you said, I feel like.
Well, what do you do, bro? You done already bought the ticket.
If you a grown, it don't matter. If you a grown person in America today, it don't matter if you're man or woman. You need to have some kind of type of money or cash or a card on you, something that can pay for. Well, he stood me up. I need to go home, take an Uber, go home, whatever. I need gas, whatever. You need to have some kind of cash on you or money on you. So I don't agree with her not showing up with that.
So that's going to lead to this part. And then I'll give you a chance. That's going to lead to this part. She then said that was cool. He came up, greeted her, and then they went into the venue. And then she made a point to say they had cocktails before they went to find their seats. She did not. Go ahead.
Let me get to the cash.
Okay, dang. Okay, go ahead. Go to the cash.
So I think she'd been to this spot before.
Damn.
Because she knew what it was.
She knew what it was about. Yeah.
She knew what it's about. So she went to park and she said the line was long. I don't know why she didn't think it was long. But I think that parking lot took credit because when she got to the other one, she said, I'm gonna have to go back because I didn't bring cash. So I think she had the card to pay for the other one. But since he suggested she come over there, it was short for a reason. It was a whole bunch of 30 draws.
Right.
A whole bunch of people that didn't bring cash. So I'm not gonna fault her on that, because he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna pay because this is the cash one, even though you didn't bring it."
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Well, when they got in, she didn't make a point. And do y'all believe she would have made a point to say, well, once we got in and got the drinks, because he paid $50, $60, $40, $20 for the parking spot, impromptu, I put the drinks on my card. Why didn't she do that, y'all?
Thank you. Go ahead, Ober.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Why?
Because she made a
didn't
point to
she
say,
do
you
it?
got to have the cocktails. She said, you got to have your cocktails.
You asking me why she did it?
Yes. Why didn't she? Yes. You
she's
deal with these women.
She's a selfish person. This is the date and getting to know somebody, and so far getting the tickets or inviting her and whatever, I ain't never heard her say thank you or show thank you yet.
Well, she showed up and she was probably had her nails and stuff done. She was ready for the next day. She was ready for the next. I'll give her this credit. She was ready for the next day where she didn't have to do all this fakeisms to, get spackled all up, a week in advance. Like, she was ready next day. That was me. She stayed ready. Well, we saw her. She was fine. She was okay. But
she took off or whatever.
Okay. Cool.
And see, I mean, that's my thing. If you're going to take somebody out like he did, he took the initiative to take her out. I've actually done this before. So he took the initiative to pay for the tickets, blah, 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 parking, whatever. I feel like the woman should, when we get in the venue, you can at least buy some drinks, you know what I mean? Or some food, whatever venue it is. If we go into a comedy club and I get the tickets and this and that, or I come pick you up, at least have the initiative to buy the drinks or buy the food or whatever else. You know what I mean? Don't expect everything to be on the man on the first date, because you don't even know each other like that. So that's how I date. If I get a woman that she expects me to pay for everything, that's a red flag for me. So no more dates for her.
Let me ask this, because I'm unaware. So this is just my ignorance. She says she paid for the premium access to the app. Does that mean that any person you meet is also a premium customer? Is it only premium on premium dating on those things?
Or the dating app?
Yes, sir.
No, it's not. Premium is just you have more stuff. It's not that you are for just premium people or for other premium people. No.
Okay. Cool.
I just think you have more filters where you can filter down to different to get more specific to the person you want.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Well, she was willing to pay for that, so that's good. But then she said they went in, they had great seats. Fourth row, they was, jumping and dancing and getting sweaty. Everything was good. You could tell by her body language, she really enjoyed herself. She said when it was over, he walked her back to her car, in the parking spot that he had sponsored. And that was that. She didn't kiss and tell or nothing like that, but she made a point to say he was a perfect gentleman. So he did all this, made adjustments on the fly, invested in a good time. I'm sure he had a good time there, but he seemed to be out checking her in these check boxes that I've written down here.
I agree.
He's actually winning 6-3. Do you think women do that level of counting, or do they believe that they just came in, spotted checks, like they had a head start? Like, why isn't she trying to make sure he doesn't feel used or objectified or, taken advantage of? Why do you think her mindset is not? She's saying I was treated she said, quote, exactly the way I wanted to be treated is how she was treated. But she didn't say, and I believe he too was treated exactly the way he wanted to be treated. Does her mind not work that way? Is that not how women think in these streets?
I told y'all she was selfish.
Yes.
How uncommon is she, though? How uncommon is she? Because
that's very common. That's very common.
Very common. Okay.
That's very common.
Okay. That's
she was worried about her good time. So
she had it. She had it.
Yeah, she had a good time. She said he was a perfect gentleman. He bought cocktails.
Yes.
He didn't put no cock and tail because he had
it's not always about. But this is where I am using her words against her. She said the objective of dating, people have gotten messed up because when she goes out, she likes to go out and learn and go out to teach. So I absolutely can understand what she learned here. I have no idea what she taught him.
She didn't teach
What do
she
y'all
learn?
believe?
She taught how to
Oh,
be
she learned that she can get
selfish.
away with that.
She
Yeah, she
taught how
learned
to
that she
be
can get away with
selfish.
that.
She got exactly what she said she got. She did what she wanted to do, and she didn't have to. She didn't have to really spend no money for it. She didn't have to like give
Or
him
time.
anything out of it. She didn't have to do
Yep.
nothing.
Yep.
Everything was on him.
Yep.
So she got what she wanted out of it. So
It sounded like she has good dating experiences.
Well,
But she
this is what she said though. At the end of it, she said she had a good ass time and she can't wait to date again. Not date him specifically, but she feels like she can run this playback. Swear to God, that's what she said.
yeah,
She can
that is
run
what she
this
said.
playback again and date. And so that investment, so this is where I'm asking y'all specifically, because y'all do invest in dates. How much are you thinking about the return on investment as you're dating, or do you take it as loaning somebody money where don't loan it if you can't afford to lose it? Do you go out on a date and say,
No,
whatever I spend is probably going to be a wash? Fuck it, I'm just
I
going.
don't. I
Like,
don't.
how
I
do
don't
you
at all.
equate that? How do you equate that?
I
Okay.
don't at all. First of all, I equate it to, am I interested in going on that date or going to that concert for myself? And if I am, I'll invest in it or buy it. And then another thing, I'm like, do I want to take somebody else? Do I feel like, is somebody else worth me taking or
Okay.
worth my time to take? And if I feel like they're not worth my time, I won't take them. But if I do say, yeah, they're worth my time and effort and my little bit of money I got to spend for the ticket, I will take them. You know what I mean? And then I'll see how it go from there. Like I said, if she don't invest or she don't help pay for anything, I already know what time it is. You know what I mean? Just like that woman in that video, she didn't invest in anything. So, and that dude should have known in the back of his mind, we ain't going on the second date. You know what I'm saying? That's a wrap. This a loss for me. I tack it up. So that's how I look at stuff too. So that's how it is. You know, that's how the dating world
What
is
say you?
nowadays.
What say you, Omar?
So I can tell when she started off that she said that's her dating experience and that's how it's been. And she did say she was single. Like
She did.
so she does not know that she's not a good partner. The other person is not having fun when she go out.
Right. Right.
What she did is common, but when I'm just like Pig. Like if by the third date she ain't even flinch for a wallet,
Right.
it's still gonna be a nice date because I wanted to be there anyway.
Yeah.
She just gonna be sitting there wondering, she ain't seen me again.
The thing that's tough for me is, and I know this is going to this is going to be an exposure point for me. So I'm being vulnerable to the audience here. I have put a lot of time and training and dedication into being thoughtful and psychologically sound to where I believe I provide a high level conversation. But if I was to act like a woman and think that my conversation was worth all of the things that, the parking, the food, the drinks, if my conversation was so valuable that I needed women to pay for these things, I would be castigated. I mean, I would be talked about like a damn dog. If I said, well, she got me. She got a chance to be around me and hear me pontificate on all these interesting topics and things. And that's, of course, I should have got the big steak and the mac with the cheese and the bacon and the lobster. But we can't afford to do that. That level of standardization of I should be just because I was born and can have babies, because there's a lot of things that we're not gonna get into the gender topics and all that on this podcast, but women, the only separation distinctly where for sure you can't be a woman is you can't birth a baby. Everything else, you got women firefighters, women electricians, women CEOs, women. So I'm not gonna start getting into that part of it. But women birthing babies is the delta. But just because you can birth a baby does not mean that your conversation, your time, your whatever has such a greater value than mine that is no longer an exchange. Even sex. If we're having sex and you need a meal, I'm down one because we exchange sex. Your stuff wasn't that much better than mine.
Exactly. Yes.
We
Exactly.
exchange some fluids. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think that one of the narratives for good brothers like y'all, and one of the things that came up while we had this conversation is my mom, your mom, women, my wife. Why can't they find a good woman? Why can't they good dudes? They ain't really looking. They don't really care. They just want to hold around. They just want to, and they not realizing it ain't
Nah, it's
what you
not
think it
that.
is. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
being
not.
presented
But they
as simple as
should
we
know from
are.
their homies.
They
Yeah.
should, but that's the thing. Women give more. This is why women can't really work in banks like that. They give too much credit. They qualify. Oh, she's got a cute face. Why would
Bars.
you say that? Why would you put? Why would you put that at the
It
forefront? You
doesn't
must
even
know
equate
everything else is
together.
trash,
Right.
right?
Right.
So,
Right.
so the tough part about it is, if you were that good or if you were that great, and there was a plethora of women out there, why aren't you saying, "Hey, send her to him"? Why are you not? If you know that these is good brothers and you think it's great women out there, how come you don't know none of them? And I think that should help women stop doing this. Stop making it seem like if the brothers ain't finding good women, it's because of them. It's because they trying to do this and do that. No, they trying to be selective. They trying to be patient, and they trying to migrate through seasons to see if you really are justifiably worthy of being incorporated into the business, incorporated into the kingdom, incorporated into the planning process, incorporated into the life with the children. I'm not, because even with people who have like, there's ways to go about winning any way you can. And you're saying, look, I understand if she has small children, this and that, but somebody that's fabulous come and say, listen, here's the chart, here's the schedule, here's the plan. You ain't gotta worry about it. They daddy get them for a week, I'm
Yep.
off a week. It just so happened in my week. Like, there's ways to go about it, but women tend to shut down when it's not exactly the way in which they want it to be. Like you said, they want to try to raise you up or son you. And that's very unattractive. So any women that's listening to this, if you feel like you have more say-sos than pesos, that's the problem up front. And then secondly, if you're not willing to have that level of conversation and understand that at some point in time, it's not about you. It's about us and we. And if you start with us and we and how us and we are going to look 2 months, 2 years, 20 years from now, you might want to change some of these things that you've stuck to because you're trying to try me for the last man's crime, or you're trying to try me for what you've seen on TikTok or seen on Instagram. Like, you're trying to hold me up to a standard that I didn't sign up for. So one of the things that I'm gonna say as we close, I like the fact that y'all use communication as a weapon and a shield as it relates to getting involved. As a weapon, the way y'all use it was, listen, I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Right.
So you can't say I didn't tell you. But as a shield, it's, hey, I'm going to be honest and vulnerable with you. So these are my shortcomings. These are things that I'm willing to adjust and for the right person. Because women will always say, I don't mind being led. I just need to find somebody to lead me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I hope that, I hope that these type of conversations not just help y'all, because y'all gonna be fine. I don't got no concern about y'all, but younger brothers that's listening to this and realizing they not on an island by themselves, and that it's like that for dudes that's got it together, for dudes that, got multiple cars, multiple everything, you know what I'm saying, get the food delivered, can go to go to a whatever they want to go to, travel the world if they need
5-star
to.
hotel,
It's still not as
restaurant.
easy.
Yeah.
Man, it's still not as easy to find her just because those are things you can control. It's hard to control somebody else and then how they approach a situation. But this is why you have a responsibility to start fishing in that pond. So when y'all call me again and say, I'm looking for her, my response is going to be, where pond are we going to? I got the boat. I got the boat.
So you saying the app ain't the right pond?
Here's the situation. Any tool is useful if it's used for the right method. A hammer is great, not for screwing screws. You know what I'm saying? I think people they try to use that app as an all-inclusive because people lie. But you said this, and this is what's valuable more than anything else, because I'm a girl dad. People put on the app the aspirational woman that they would like to be, not who they are currently. People present in the representative of who they are as a woman. When you first start talking to a woman, she's telling you everything that she would like to be if she had her shit together. Everything that she would like to have if everything was great. She's not telling you that she's on her second bankruptcy. She's not telling you that, she had this, she and the liens and all this other stuff. She's not telling you those things where the warts and all of the dips and dimples are, because she wants to present her best self, which she should. It's an audition. But at the same point in time, at some point in time, you have to realize this man is worth my honesty. This man is worth my candidness. And in order to do that, you got to give her that. Dudes don't have no problem saying, look, I grew up rough. I grew up this. I had to come through this. I was with this woman and it didn't work out. I made some mistakes. Like dudes say that all the time. I'm not saying nothing that dudes have not heard or said before. Women say, he went crazy. I was great. I don't know what happened. One day it was this, and the next day he just, I found numbers in his phone. Like, dang, that was kind of that's a
Yeah, but what did you do though?
How many
What
times that
made you?
happened? The
What led
last
him
6
to
times. But
that?
it'd be the last 6 boyfriends, right?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, they get mad at that question when you say, "Well, what did you do to make him?"
right.
So can I ask Pig, like, what else besides the drinks could she have done to make you ask her on a second date?
Besides the drinks,
Is that if
it
she
just
bought the drinks, she
depends.
go on the second date?
Yeah, I mean, it's more than that. Like, it's just the personality. If we vibed, you know what I mean? Like, you got to vibe with that person. If y'all don't vibe, she could be all into the concert and not talking to you, or she could be looking at other people. You know what I mean? It just depends on how the vibe is, man. You know what I mean? It ain't just a drink.
You said something that was so cool, and I was kind of scared to say it, but I'm gonna say it now. You approach, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to misrepresent you. You approach a lot of your significant dating as the woman being a bonus. I'm gonna do this anyway. And if she happened to be there, happened to get in with it, and we cool, great. If she's not, I was gonna do this anyway.
Yeah.
Women would take that as an offense, but I've never heard of a bad bonus. So if a
Yeah.
woman told me, hey, I was going to do this, but I'd like to include you as bonus, I'm
Yes.
like, cha-ching.
Yes,
Bonus is a
right.
great word. It's a positive word. And I think women would be offended if you presented it as if, look, I was
That
going to do this
way.
anyway.
Yes,
This
they
is not
would
about
be.
you.
They would be. They would be. Yep. I agree with that. And that's the perfect way to put it.
But you
'Cause
can't make it always about that. That's the thing. Yeah.
yeah, that's a perfect way to put it
You
as a
can't make it always,
bonus.
they can't make it always about them.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah, it's
not.
a
If I
bonus.
do something and I want to take a woman somewhere, it's not because she want us to go. It's because I want to go also. So, and me asking you, I
absolutely.
feel like since I'm asking you, I know I'm gonna have to foot most of the bill anyway. So that's not no big deal to me. That is a bonus. But if she adds to that and she puts into that, that is a bonus. That's a great way to put it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you think she could have did over in that video? The one thing I don't want to take away is from her, she had a genuine, heartfelt joy as to getting attention. Women love attention. Him being obviously above what her standard was in punctuality, in meeting her, walking her to the car, like things that we kind of do and grew up with, holding doors and all. You get women that'll race you to the door now. Don't even want I can do it. I don't need no man to. But she fell into that role, and that was cool. But I was kind of dismayed at the fact that she didn't say, and the next time we go out, I'm going to, or I've already started looking for the next concert, or I've already started asking him what his favorite food was to fix, or like, it's not always about the money, it's the effort.
Right.
And it seemed like he put a lot of effort into that, and she drove down there. Right? Like, let's keep it real. Like, he put a lot on.
Yeah, that's all she did was drive down
She
there.
made she made a comment. He took it for what it was worth, and she drove down there. So she did two things.
I think she could. The way she was acting don't seem like she this type of woman. But I think if this was me in that situation, if she also would have made sure I got home safe, like we both made sure each other got home. I've had chicks write me a handwritten thank you card for the day. That mean a lot. I had chicks to say they cooked something, and then we met and she gave me some of whatever the food was. Like, if whatever the effort is, that's cool, even if it's not very. But it seemed like everything was one-sided. When everything is one-sided, she's not getting another date.
But let me say this just to be careful. There are women that are great at one or two things, but it doesn't fill the bingo card for a man. So just because you're great at sex, or you're a great cook, and you're hanging your hat on the thing that you are good at, you're very attentive, but you got all kind of baby daddy drama, or you about to be evicted. Like, just because you have a quality, or two qualities that are great, it doesn't absolve you of all of the baggage and the other things that you have going on. And women tend to think that, look, I'm a good person, cool, and I, went to school. Cool. What else you got? And I'm like, well,
Right.
I'm tall. Cool. I mean, like you
They think,
gotta be
they
able to
think
be
that's
a
everything.
package.
Yeah.
You
I'm telling
gotta
you
have
about
a
this
package.
chick.
Mhm.
Like we went out and I thought she wasn't paying for nothing. I paid for 2 days. I didn't think she was paying for nothing.
Mhm.
So we probably was gonna go on one more and that was gonna be it. But we was talking, deep conversation. I like that, the intellect. She was asking me about lunch. I said, I usually don't go to lunch. She was like, well, you should eat lunch. I was like, I usually don't go. And my birthday was coming up, whatever. And she was like, but she Googled where I work and the restaurants around. Well, do you go here? I said, no. She said, but would you? Yeah, I would. Do you like this spot? Do you like that spot? Yeah. For my birthday, it was about 10 gift cards of $20 to all those places.
Wow, I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming.
That's amazing right there.
And then with that, she got many more dates.
What killed her, bro? Can we ask? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I didn't think we was gonna get to that, but I like what she did.
Yeah, I did too. I did too.
What killed her was it got to be it was the bossiness. It only could be one boss in the crib. And
Okay.
That's that male trait I was talking about earlier.
Right.
yeah.
The male woman. She was the male
But I
woman.
mean, even if you look back at it, I told her I don't go to lunch. She
Right.
still got me lunch things.
That's correct. To force you to go to lunch. I seen that too, but I didn't want to bring that up because that's above my station.
But it got more and more bossy.
Yeah.
Go to this place.
Yeah.
And then one time it was like, I got to go to the restroom. Cool. Can you stand outside the door? Why?
How often does people bust? What type of spot was y'all in?
It was a regular spot.
Was she selling? Was she selling?
Might as well have been.
It's funny.
So
That's
yeah, I had to.
Okay.
It just got to be too much on the bossy end.
This is very important, and I'm glad that you pointed that out because on the surface, what she did seemed very sweet. But when you peel it back a little bit, you had told her how you get down. You had told her, she told you need to be eating lunch. The thought process is, I'm grown. I'm funky grown. I know what I need and I know what works for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like for you work out and you like, yeah, I was kind of sore. You need to stop working out so much. And you like, oh no, it's worth it. No pain, no gain. And then she like, and then you look up and she done canceled your gym membership. What the hell is we doing? What is we doing? So you got to be mindful. I think as much as we need to listen and be receptive to growth and opportunity and that other person, it has to be reciprocal. It has to be a situation where they're listening to and understanding. But a lot of times people have a prejudice in their head of how they want to see things, especially as they get older. They want to see things a certain way. And the fact is, you have a right and responsibility to get that, but make sure you get that negotiated up front. Because the last thing you want to do is waste the limited time we do have on some representative, faking it till you make it type stuff. Come in and be that person. If you're a person that was promiscuous and talk and like to watch porn, say that stuff up front. So then way I know what I'm signing up for. Don't try to sneak that kind of stuff in later. Or, I've been arrested 4 times for heroin. Whoa. They aren't all bad people, but I need context. Right. So that's the thing is that having that level of vulnerability, having those conversations, but having a plan and saying, look, at this point, I've been by myself for this long. So this is how I plan my life out. But if so inspired, I'm willing to make this adjustment, this adjustment, this adjustment. These are non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to have a barn dominium. I'm going to have all my I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. I'm going to try. Like you got to have things that complete your spirit and your anointment. But then if you want to share that and somebody be bonus, and I think y'all at the time in y'all life where I'll take a bonus chick. I'm not taking a back seat and starting over again.
No.
This wasn't the
Definitely
time.
Definitely not.
Yeah, that's where I am with it. Yeah. So cool. Well,
Yep.
I appreciate that, man. Thank y'all. This is definitely going to help some brothers out there if they heed the warnings and read the signs. We won't have to drop squad y'all or nothing like that. But appreciate y'all coming, tuning in, giving the game, and make sure that anybody listening to this, take it easy or take it any way you can get it.
Peace out.